My daughter Lily has always been a huge fan of Marcus Stone, the action star. Ever since she first saw him on screen when she was 7 years old, she's been completely captivated by everything about him. She collected posters of his movies, watched every interview he gave, and could quote entire scenes from memory. She always described him as her hero because, in her words, he makes me feel like I can do anything. There was something about his confidence, his strength, and the way he portrayed characters who never gave up that resonated deeply with her young spirit. At the time, Lily was having serious issues with her friends at school who kept being mean to her. What started as small comments and exclusions gradually escalated into something much worse. They would whisper when she walked by, leave her out of group activities during recess, and make cruel jokes at her expense during lunch. She couldn't understand why this was happening to her. She'd come home with tears streaming down her face, asking me what she'd done wrong, why they suddenly hated her. As her mother, watching her suffer like this absolutely broke my heart into pieces. She eventually started throwing tantrums before school and would genuinely tremble on her way in. Her hands would shake as she gripped her backpack straps, and I could see the fear in her eyes every single morning. The bright, confident girl I'd raised was disappearing before my eyes, replaced by someone anxious and withdrawn. She'd beg me not to make her go, clinging to my arm with desperation that made my chest ache. The school took no responsibility for what was happening, dismissing my concerns and suggesting Lily was being too sensitive or needed to toughen up. Their indifference only made everything worse. By the time she'd completely stopped going to school, I was desperate. I tried everything I could think of, talking to teachers, meeting with the principal, even reaching out to the other parents. Nothing worked. Watching my daughter lose herself to fear and sadness was unbearable. I felt helpless, like I was failing her when she needed me most. Then my cousin who works on movie sets told me Marcus Stone will be making a cameo next week in a film he's working on. We were having coffee when I broke down and told him everything that had been happening with Lily. He knew what was going on, and he told me he could see about getting her to meet him. I didn't want to get my hopes up, knowing how busy celebrities are, but he promised he'd try his best. Well, he called me a week later to tell me Marcus heard about Lily's school situation and wanted to speak with her. I could barely believe what I was hearing. My hands were shaking as I held the phone, tears of gratitude already forming in my eyes. This man, this incredibly famous person, wanted to take time out of his day to help my daughter. I told her to get in the car, say we were going to the store. She complained the whole way, still in that dark place where nothing seemed to matter anymore. You should have seen her face when her hero called her name as we walked onto the set. Her eyes went wide, her mouth dropped open, and for the first time in months, I saw genuine joy light up her features. She looked at me in complete disbelief, then back at Marcus, then at me again. I let the two chat away while I thanked my cousin profusely, watching from a distance as Marcus knelt down to Lily's level, giving her his complete attention. After a talk with him, she told me she was ready to return to school. Marcus had given her a pep talk and helped her realize those friends aren't worth being around, and it really stuck with her in a way my words never could. He told her she'll always have a true friend in him, and he even gave her his personal email address so she could reach out if she ever needed support. He reminded her that she was strong, valuable, and deserving of real friendship. It makes perfect sense why everyone loves people like Marcus who take time for kids who need them. That single conversation changed everything for Lily, giving her back the confidence those bullies had stolen.